I want to talk to you about customer communities, what they are, and how they can help your brand this year in terms of boosting revenue, but also solidifying your relationship vis-a-vis your customers. So here is a synopsis I want you to pay attention to. I mean, a lot of brands have started actually investing in customer communities in the last 5 years, actually right after COVID, because they realized that, hey, listen, we got to have a private space where we can actually nurture a relationship with our customers, our prospects, and so on and so forth. And so that's really good. And what we have seen in the last 5 years is that a lot of brands are not only investing in customer communities, but also making sure that they control the A to Z of those communities. Now, let me first explain to you what a customer community really is, so you have a clear idea what I'm speaking about. A customer community really is a dedicated space that hosts a relationship between a brand or a company and its customers. It can really allow for questions and answers, knowledge exchange, customer education, or promotional opportunities, or even product support and feedback. And the relationship actually could be built in different ways, for example, through email, a website, social media, a dedicated online forum, a landing page, or what have you, okay? The important word here is what? Relationship. Because good customer communities are not just places for brands to throw sales pitches. Don't think about actually, boost revenue automatically through a customer community, right? So if you want to throw sales pitches, this is not the right space for it. Think about a landing page, for instance. That's a lot better. So the old saying is that people want to do business with those they know, like, and trust. And that's what a customer community does best. It does create the space for this trust to grow, and that's what you want. You want to nurture that trust over time. And customer communities can be theoretically understood as digging into what's called social identity theory, right? When people become actually members of any social group, including good customer communities, they feel a sense of belonging, purpose, self-worth, and identity. So that's kind of cool. And so one thing I want to say here is that you want to really solidify that relationship. Now, what a customer community is not. It's not an email list. It's not the number of social media followers you have. It's not the members of your Facebook group. It's not the amount of likes on your last post, the people calling your customer service line, or your chat bot users, right? It's really way more than that. Okay, it's all about establishing a relationship, but also, most importantly, making sure that you are actually going in depth and you are actually nurturing that relationship all the time. Now, the closest thing here is a Facebook group, but even here, we find very loose brand attachment and belonging. It's hard to use Facebook to create the type of a dynamic relationship and member-led engagement that grows a real brand community. So what's the rationale here? Why should you build a customer community this year? Well, you have a lot of benefits. You have you can access member-led growth, and that's really important. You can increase brand loyalty. You can actually establish a better relationship with your audience. So when I speak about accessing member-led growth, that's really kind of important. There is actually in the last 10 years we have seen and we have seen this across the board in multiple countries. There is a new generation of high-impact businesses built around membership communities. In fact, community is such a powerful business that McKinsey actually identified it as the ultimate business model for the 2020s. So they're speaking about a community flywheel. And this was even before COVID. And after COVID, it was even way deeper, okay? And we've seen the explosion of member-led growth businesses, including customer communities. And if paid, they can create incredible recurring revenue opportunities. But the community also puts growth on autopilot. That's what you want too. If you're running a business, you want to have a strategy in place that can optimize your revenue in the background without you working so hard at it, so that you can really reduce your CPA over time. CPA, cost per acquisition of your client. So we've talked about the community as a business that grows itself because the combination of member-generated content, excitement driven by members, and AI tools to simplify community management means that it's easier than ever before to build the human connections that drive your business. So that's kind of cool. Second, you want to increase brand loyalty, right? So transforming customers, subscribers, or even followers into members It's something that you shouldn't take lightly. And unlike all of those transactional relationships, member actually belong in a community, and that's way important than anything else, because people feel a sense of when people feel a sense of belonging, they can actually be there for a long time, and that's what you want to establish vis-a-vis your business, not only in the short run but also in the long run. Remember, belonging instead of buying is actually a fundamental part of building a community flywheel. Next, you can also improve your CLV. So CLV stands for customer lifetime value, and this that has a strong correlation to a CPA, cost per acquisition. Okay, and so customer lifetime value is actually fed by retention, but only a few brands consistently get it right. So brands such as Apple, such as Nike, for instance, and so based on research, you have a C like most brands enjoy and they have enjoyed in the last 10 years actually a retention rate that's around 90 to 95%. Okay, and so although brand loyalty is valuable in own right, it does lead directly into increasing your customer lifetime value. This is a no-brainer if when you really think about it, because retention and the connection, again, transforming buyers to into members, will grow your CLV like nothing else. And growing your CLV means what? It means that it's reducing your CPA, your cost per acquisition, and that's what you want. That's the space where you want to be at. You want to really reduce your CPA over time. Also, a customer community makes selling a breeze. One of the things that the study of community flywheels showed is that selling becomes radically easier with a community. The traditional sales funnel focuses on pushing all of your potential leads through a sales sequence, losing more and more, lowering more, until you find a small percentage that will buy, right? 5%. With a customer community, you don't do this. Virtually all of your leads are already warm. And unless they leave the community, they'll stay in your ecosystem, whether they're ready to buy yet or not. And that's kind of cool because you're able to actually nurture things over time. Also, you are able to get the ultimate feedback from your community. That's actually another great advantage that we love a lot, because customer vital is customer support, customer feedback is really vital. And so you are able to collect feedback through an automatic channel. You don't have to send out surveys or polls or have you. No, you have a community that's there, that's really engaged, and that can support you and can answer any question that you have. That's kind of cool. You can also put customer service on autopilot with a customer community, because you have a group of folks who are already engaged, who are interested, who are dedicated. Okay, that's an important element to think about. And so instead of calling a 1-800 number or waiting for a chatbot, people can get their answers right away. They can get their questions answered in the community. That's really powerful when you think about it. Think about Apple. What they do a fantastic job when it comes to having a community. You also through a community, through a customer community, you can make transformations happen. People buy a product or service because they want something, right? Usually that something is a transformation of some sort, whether it's a clean kitchen, or they're like to lose 10 pounds, or to have the perfect garden, or to spend Saturdays in the backyard with their family, like having a barbecue, for instance. So you got to really think about the transformative journey that the customer is on. But just because someone buys a tent, it doesn't mean they know how to camp, right? This is where a great customer community comes in. If you can go beyond the transaction and help your customers actually succeed with your product or service, you will have raving fans who will tell their friends about you. In short, a customer community is not simply to sell more. Don't focus on the revenue aspect of things. Revenue will come. I mean, you are a business. I understand that you're not a philanthropy, but you have to really focus first on adding value. Okay, so a customer community is there to help your customers succeed. And there's more. A thriving customer community will give you valuable feedback on your products and services, feedback that you might otherwise have to pay to actually get, right? So for these reasons and more, building a customer community makes a ton of sense. So that's really an important element to think about. Also, you can harness real engagement. So if your idea of Customer engagement is hoping that your social media post get 15 likes. You are in the wrong ball game. A customer community can create real engagement, real customer engagement, real relationships with customers. Remember, it's all about a relationship, right? So a customer here, when he or she is part of your community, he or she has become a member, right? It's amazing when you can get off the content treadmill of social media and build real engagement that people love because you are actually adding value. Let me share with you a few examples here. So I want to share with you 7 to 8 awesome examples of customer communities. First, I want to talk to you about top stitch makers. So there are some brilliant examples of customer communities right here and on this show. And take a look at Top Stitch, for instance, for me on the screen. So you have Top Stitch Studio and Lounge, and so that's kind of cool. And basically, here is a customer community that offers courses and uh, weekly activities to empower members to stitch their way to success. So that's really fantastic. And you also have Duolingo. So Duolingo is the app that made language learning fun, easy, and pretty much free, freemium. And behind the scenes, Duolingo has a dedicated volunteer community that devotes itself to answering user language questions and making the app better. And so that's really good, especially when you think about flexibility. You also have Wazel. Wazel is actually a women's running apparel brand that wanted to go beyond just selling merchandise and help its customers learn and connect with others. And they actually they've done a great job in terms of building a community. They have about 4,000 to 5,000 members, and so those members can find a place to belong through real conversations and thriving virtual events. Especially during COVID, it was really fantastic what they did. They actually connected a lot with all the members. It was just really, really fantastic. So one thing I want to say here is that when you think about having a customer community, it's not just for the short run, right? If you're thinking about adding value, you got to really think about the long run because this will help you actually scale real fast. And when you think about adding value to your customers, when you think about helping your customers succeed, when you think about helping your members succeed, they will pay you back 1,000 fold, 1 million fold because it's all about karma. I mean, of course, we are strictly talking here about business, but karma is actually is a real thing in business, whether or not you believe it. I also want to share with you another community that's really great. Yeah, Lego. Lego is a multi-billion-dollar brand known to kids for the amazing building potential and known by parents as little landmines that hurt you when you step on them, right? Now, just kidding. Now, actually, Lego is loved around the world by kids and adults alike, and a collection of devoted builders share ideas on the Lego customer community, and members can even note on which fan builds should get the stamp of approval to become authentic Lego kits. So that's kind of cool. You also have a Peloton. So Peloton rose to prominence during the 2019 COVID pandemic when we're all trying to exercise in our living rooms, right? Remember back in the days? That was back in the days, right? A couple of years ago. And the Peloton, actually, they created a powerful customer community around exercise, and users can swap scores, video chat during their sessions, and encourage each other on their Peloton Facebook group. So that was really fantastic. That's what we love to see, especially when we see the value added, the very positive, the very nurturing capability that a software tool or an app has. And Peloton did a great job. Now, when we speak about customer community in general, we have to think about the geography too, because I mean, honestly, a community is a cultural thing first and foremost. So if you have a business that actually that's present in many countries, then you might have to create multiple communities because your customers who are in the States, they may not actually be culturally in sync with customers in other countries. I'm not really saying that it's a big thing, but you just never know. I mean, it really depends also on the products or service that you are actually selling, right? Because I mean, if you are selling, let's say, fitness products, then it's not really important. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the client is. But if you're selling something that's very that has some kind of emotional or cultural connection, then it's better to think about geography also. Also, I want to share with you Adobe. So Adobe products are dedicated to creating a lot of stuff, right? Photos, videos, music, and more. They are industry standards. But ask anyone who's ever used an Adobe product, and they'll tell you that they're not easy to learn. So the Adobe customer community provides a space for people to share questions and answers, as well as tips for making the most out of the software. So that's kind of cool because basically you might say, well, they have outsourced customer service to the members. But hey, listen, it's a smart move. And their slogan, "Come for help, be inspired," pretty much sums their approach, which starts with helping customers figure out their programs and takes them on a journey towards mastering their art. You also have Apple. So Apple has built a thriving customer community that doubles as a customer support platform. They've even gamified the experience so that contributors get more points and are allowed more community moderation features as they move up levels. So that's kind of cool. Users who get the top levels actually also get access to an exclusive community. So that's really fantastic. So we love that a lot in terms of gamification, but also creating that sense of belonging. Okay. And yes, if you're thinking about it, gamifying your customer service so that customers want to spend time providing each other with support is a pretty brilliant use of a customer community because it really solidifies that spirit of a collaboration that I spoke to you about a little earlier, right? And also that engagement over time. Because if folks know that they're just having fun, the whole thing is gamified, they're having fun, they are more likely to actually come back and back and back and back and back. Another awesome example of customer community I want to share with you is Shopify. So for a great customer community in action, look no further than Shopify. Since Shopify helps their customers build stores to sell their stuff, the Shopify community is actually dedicated to providing training and knowledge building, answering FAQs, and even hosting live events. And they were really powerful actually during COVID too. I mean, it was kind of crazy. The funny thing is that engagement, that boost in engagement in the Shopify community was actually was reflected by the huge uptick that the Shopify stock experienced at the very onset of COVID. It was really crazy. Of course, the price came down. It has come down after that uptick, but it was kind of crazy to see that folks were just home and everybody just was thinking about their next move, right? And Shopify actually experienced a huge, I mean, they actually capitalized a lot on that. But they actually came out with new products and new features. It was kind of similar to what the kind of growth that Zoom also experienced. So that's really was fantastic. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about customer communities, and I actually gave you the synopsis, the rationale, the examples, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.